These are without doubt very tough times that we're living in, and the cost of living just seems to be going up and up and up and up. Well, Acorn Farm's I Can Grow project has come up with a very practical scheme to help put proper food on the table for families who are maybe finding it a wee bit tough. An 18-month programme to enable families to learn how to grow their own fruit and vegetables and go some way, I suppose, towards a more sustainable food system. Shauna Kilpie from Community Foundation Northern Ireland. What's your connection to Acorn Farm, first of all, Shauna?
Hi, Colin. Yes, well, we are the lead partner in the project for the Acorn Farm for the, I suppose, the engagement with the community, and we're directly funded through the Lotteries Climate Action Fund to deliver a 5-year programme. So I don't know if you know, the Acorn Farm is, two different things. One is a capital build, which is supported with Derry City and Strabane District Council,
Yes,
and the UK Levelling Up Fund. And then also the community engagement is funded directly by Lotteries Climate Action Fund, and we are delivering that. So it's a 5-year programme of, I suppose, working within the community to develop the local food system and to address the challenges that people are experiencing around food sustainability, but also raising awareness around food and climate and the choices that we make in relation to that. So that's what it is.
have you a big purse?
We do. We have a big enough purse. I think it was about 1.7 million we were awarded over 5 years, and it's a partnership with lots of other community groups, not just ourselves. We're working, as I said, with Derry City and Strabane District Council, the conservation volunteers who are brilliant, Derry Healthy Cities and Social Farms and Gardens NI. So between us all, we're doing it and hoping to, I suppose, raise awareness, increase skills around food growing, and ultimately reduce the carbon footprint around food.
Well, in the present climate, you would have to say this is an extremely important project.
Yeah, I think it is. And I think it's also really practical. It's also fun. It's also something everybody can do. And even people that think they don't have time, they can do something. So what we're doing at the minute, we're launching one of the elements of the programme is called I Can Grow. And that involves people signing up, getting an application from our website, Community Foundation for Northern Ireland's website, getting an application, filling out a form. We're looking for 200 families for the next 2 growing seasons to engage in this programme, where you're supported with a 1 metre by 1 metre raised bed. All of the things that you need in terms of growing. You've got your compost and your seedlings and some of your initial plants that you need. And then on top of that, which is really helpful, there's a horticulturalist through the conservation volunteers who supports you and holds your hand the whole way through.
Lovely.
So it's great.
Now, where will the beds be?
So you can have them in the house. Well, not in the house, in the garden or in the yard, outside. So I mean, even if you don't need a garden, you don't need a big garden. You need something that can take a 1 metre by 1 metre raised bed box, and most people can accommodate that.
Well, you mentioned there that there are health benefits to this. There must be great mental health benefits as well as dietary health benefits.
Yeah, we had a previous phase called, it was the development phase of this, which we've just actually finished. So we're starting the new one, and we had about 250 families doing that as well across the whole city and district. And the feedback that we got was really around that level of, I suppose, enjoyment and hanging out with your family, doing something together, especially younger people, the intergenerational dynamic of it, because some people have grandparents who are great at growing and they're trying to pass it on to their grandchildren. And also just being able to be tactile with the earth and also have a bit of self-sustainable activity, because you're not totally reliant. Now, you're not going to feed a family of 10 out of it, but you're certainly going to be able to feed yourselves in the summer with all your lettuce or some spuds and onions and things like that we have in our diet here. And spinach and the stuff that people are growing is really lovely. And then people expand onto that, and some people, have gone on and made their own raised beds or gone into the ground in the garden and developed more things, or they're growing in greenhouses. So it's really developing a movement of growers locally within families and households that want to take this on.
Do you see this as the first step to self-sufficiency?
I'd say it is. I'd say it is. It's part of, because alongside of that, if you're able to get the skills to grow your own food, you might branch out into other aspects of being self-sustaining and raising awareness around maybe some of your food choices, so that you might decide, look, you know what, I'll go for local varieties as opposed to buying something that's been flown in. Now, obviously, that takes a bit of time to develop that, but the more awareness it's raised, I think the more behavioural change that we can expect to see.
Well, you say you did this last year as well. Were you happy with the success?
I think so. The people were happy, and the families that were involved really got a lot of benefit out of it, and all of them stayed engaged for the whole period of time. I think we had a couple of people that didn't do it because of different, personal reasons that couldn't continue, but for the most part, everybody enjoyed it, got a lot out of it, and I want to continue on. And they got a lot of health benefits and enjoyment and fun, and also knowledge.
Did you give it a go yourself?
I did, and I was useless. No, that's not true. That's not true. I was good the first year, but last year, as everybody knows, the weather that we had, so a lot of my, my lettuce and my spinach, and we went to Donegal for a week, and I came back, and the slugs had eaten everything. I was raging. But I had great success with my spuds, and then different people give you things as well in this little movement. So a friend of mine gave me tomatoes, which grew, and they were beautiful. And peas and beans, they were great, but all my kind of lovely lettuces all were eaten up by the slugs.
Well, I found from experience that it's easy enough to get started in this. I mean, you get a bit
Yes.
you get a box or a pot or a garden,
Yeah.
pick it up, plant your whatever it is. It's the maintenance is the hard part. Maintaining the beds, looking after your wee crops. That's the hard part to do.
Yeah, and you have to sort of have a wee bit of commitment there, and you've got to decide, it's like looking after anything or anything that's important to you. You need to put a tiny bit of time into it, but there's not a huge amount of time in a 1 metre by 1 metre box. And also, you're supported throughout, as I said, by the conservation volunteers, horticulturalists, and a newsletter. Somebody's at the end of the phone. People, ring up or get in touch with you at different phases of the period of the growing, and so you feel supported and you're encouraged. So I think if you're doing it in isolation, you can sometimes just say, you know what, I'll not bother. But whenever you're part of a group of people or you're aware other people are doing it, it does inspire you, and it gives you the energy to keep going.
Well, you're looking for 260 families for this year.
We're looking for 200 this one now, just 200 this time.
200. Okay.
That's not too bad.
Not too bad, no. How does anyone, if anyone's listening and wants to get involved, what do they do?
Yeah. Well, if you go onto the Community Foundation, www.communityfoundationni.org website, you can get in touch also through council or any of the partners, the conservation volunteers, ourselves. Hold on a second, I've got a thing in my throat here, hold on. And so you can log on, and we've got a website that's ready, and it's open on our grants and programs page. You fill out the form, you download it and fill out the form, and the closing date for that is the 30th of January. So there's plenty of time between now and the 30th of January to fill out that form, and then we'll be letting people know in February. And if we're oversubscribed, the plan is that people will go on the waiting list.
Okay, so whenever if you're fortunate enough to get in, you'll bring the box round full of soil and
full of soil. Yeah.
And what about the plants? You bring them too?
Yeah, we bring everything, and sometimes people might have to come and pick them up somewhere, but that's all part of the service, part of the program. Yeah.
It sounds like a great project, Shauna, and I really wish you all the best with it.
Thank you.
It sounds like a wee project for Mark Patterson to get involved in,
I think it would do Mark no harm at all.
His wee allotment, didn't go really well.
No, it's probably too big, you see. This is the thing, it's probably too much for him, and allotments are massive, whereas this is a 1 metre by 1 metre box. I think he could handle that one.
I think he could.
Yeah.
Shauna, the best of luck with it, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
And happy Christmas to you.
You too, Colin. Thank you. Take care.
Some more